In order to define the role of business in society, an analysis of stakeholders, business ethics, the use of advanced technology, the importance of negotiations, crisis management, and the effects of globalisation. One aspect of business would be the influence of stakeholders. Customers are one of the largest stakeholders in any organisation. They hold a large amount of interest in a business as they want the best value for their money. They have a great deal of influence, as if they lose interest, find a replacement, or boycott the product, then the business will inevitably be at a loss. Competitors take interest in other organisations in their sector, as they want to manufacture goods or provide services which match or better their opponents. Their influence can be substantial, as if they produce a good quality product at a more affordable price, it is likely that the firm will lose customers to them. In today's society, the role of business has become more ethical in the hope of creating social benefits. It can be argued that in modern-day society, business ethics are expected in big businesses. There are several advantages of a business having corporate social responsibility, which include brand loyalty, improved employee relationships, and leading successful marketing campaigns. However, corporate social responsibility is not always rewarded, and because of this, some companies do not make ethics a focus point for their business model. An example of this would be Abercrombie & Fitch, whereby a move towards more ethical behaviour resulted in a loss of sales. In addition, Primark have been constantly criticised for their lack of action and their poor production processes. Yet it is still a major retailer on the market despite this bad publicity. Therefore, ethics are important in the role of business, yet not compulsory to make profit. Another role of business is technological advances. This can sometimes be a challenge for businesses to keep up with these advancements. New technology offers many advantages to organisations. For example, technology allows organisations to replace some of their labour workforce with machines, and this cuts down costs. It also means there is less human error and no fatigue, which would affect the quality of work. Keeping up with new technology can allow businesses to get a step ahead of competitors and create a competitive advantage, and finally it can open up new opportunities for businesses. However, along with this, there are also disadvantages. New technology is expensive and can be a big cost to businesses. The maintenance is also costly to keep up with, and as mentioned, technology is ever changing. Therefore, it will involve constant update in order to keep up with new releases. On top of this, it has been found that technology can be disruptive to businesses and markets. For example, advancing technology completely wiped out the CD market, and now all music listening is done through technology. This shows how much impact technology has on businesses in today's society. Negotiations are also important in the role of business. It aims to achieve compromise between two parties, in which each individual tries to gain advantage over the other. There is a vital part of business as it helps to satisfy individual interests, whilst aiding parties mend disputes and come to a mutually beneficial agreement. The main strategy for negotiating is to prepare and plan beforehand, anticipate what the other party will want, and attempt to think of some way to resolve this in a manner that benefits you. It is not important to win every minor battle. Concede the small points to allow greater negotiating power for the larger points. Determine who is your lead negotiator. They must be strong in both words and manner, have open body language, maintain confident, non-aggressive eye contact throughout. You must listen to the opposite party, question them thoroughly, and spot the weak points in their argument. Use these to gain influence for your arguments and swing the negotiation into your favour. You must make counter-offers to benefit you as much, if not more, than the other party, and if a compromise is not possible, be able to walk away at the correct time. Globalisation is also very prominent in a business role. It is a term used to express the ongoing alliances and connections being made in the world today. Borders are no longer an issue for business, with technology allowing people to communicate and interact more easily. Globalisation is said to represent unlimited ascent of technology, the free flow of information, the annihilation of territorial limits, and the uniformity of economy, and much more. Therefore, globalisation is a huge factor in business in today's world. Critics and supporters have differing views on its value, so there are some of the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are, they allow companies to utilise comparative advantage. They have a larger market, cheaper and more readily available goods, and this eradicates cultural barriers. The disadvantages are, it causes unemployment and exploits the workforce in lesser developed countries, taking advantage of environmental laws that are less strict in some countries, and there is a loss of culture and international identity. Finally, to have a better understanding on the concept, causes and consequences of the financial crisis, we examined in detail the processes that led to the collapse of the global economy, and how not to repeat the same mistake in future. Those affected including the entire investment banking industry, the biggest insurance companies, the two enterprises chartered by the government to facilitate mortgage lending, the largest mortgage lender, the largest saving and loan, and two of the largest commercial banks. These massive losses caused many banks to tighten their lending requirements, but it was already too late for many of them. Several bank and financial institutions merged with other institutions or were simply bought out. One of the greatest issues behind those tendencies was a lack of supervision from the necessary institutions and proper evaluation of risk. The risk management analysis is crucial to the business world because it acts like an instrument that prevents from unwanted crises like the mentioned above in the future. Overall, the role of business is vital in today's modern society. In order to define the